You like it here in this small town? The aw shucks and the apple pie. Makes you feel safe. Seems fake to me. Maybe being here will change my mind.
I'm not scared of you.
You will be.
I feel so bad for John and Jordan. Their dad just died.
Handle him.
You're not ready yet. You are not your boss.
Can I tell you? Let me tell you, it has been months to a year since I watched regular television. For the last couple of years, I've always got on Twitch to listen to Vinesauce or watch Vinesauce, or watch Skeletor or Desert Pagona, or I would watch what's on YouTube, or watch some old DVDs. I haven't watched regular television in a maximum about a year or more. Because, I mean, yes, there are nice humanitarian stories and things you learn. Like I learned something on the news just today, and I'll talk about it in the next video. But yeah, this I was looking for the right image. This is the right image. This says everything right now. Michael Cudlitz, good. I mean, he really topped his performance from last season. Because he only had 2 episodes to... I mean, yeah, they talked about him throughout the season 3, but when he shows up, he shows up. Luthor is not playing games. That's the title of this video. Luthor is not playing games. Better than Naomi. One person didn't like my sort of triggered comments, my bad reaction to Naomi's season, the entire series being one season. Like, this is what happened, and then it got canceled because it wasn't good. It just wasn't. Now, people on Twitter have said, or on Twix have said that that this is the end of the Arrowverse. Yeah, it is. It's the end of sort of that train. It started with Smallville, right? And I'm going to look at something. We're going to read something from an article Michael Cudlitz did. We started with Smallville in 2001, okay? And it ended in 2011. Then there was I would say it was a year break, right? So there was nothing going on for a whole year. Then we started in 2012 with Arrow, then Flash, then DC Legends of Tomorrow, and Black Lightning, and Batwoman, and then some of those shows started to rot. They tried with Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights fell to the wayside. It was terrible. I'm sure Misha Collins did all right as Two-Face, but yeah. So we've had other shows. This is the end of the superhero shows. Anything more will be on HBO or Max. Peacemaker season 2, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Now, if Joker 2 disappointed you, which I still have mixed feelings about. Now, a lot of people watched my video, didn't give a like because they're not sure what to think. I was like, is he okay? Is he all right? I feel like some of that stuff works, but I think Alex said, and other people said that there's no way that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker could be the Joker. So he ended up coming apart, imploding by the end of the second movie. But here we have Michael Cudlitz's Lex Luthor, and he gets the beats right. He's still that same character we remember from season 3. And they did a major overhaul. Now, the one lie that they did tell us was that they were going to move to Metropolis and everything was going to take place in Metropolis. So that didn't really happen. We didn't find out probably till later on that it was going to go back to Smallville, stay in Smallville. So Lex Luthor... So first of all, let's get it over with. Superman died at the end of season 4, episode 1 of the 2-hour premiere. He did. And Lex Luthor told Doomsday, which was the Bizarro Superman from the Bizarro universe, to give him his heart. Now, we've heard villain threats before, and this one actually held its weight. This was actually the thing that happened. And you have Jordan trying to get his heart back. Got Jonathan Kent. Now, Jordan Elsis, who took a break, he had to take a mental break. I kind of wish he stuck around because there was only one more season, but he didn't know how long it was going to last. Much like Superboy, much like, I would say, if you had to categorize the seasons that lasted the most, Smallville was the longest lasting Superman show. The Adventures of Superman with George Reeves was like second, had like 6 or 7 seasons. Superboy, Lois and Clark, and Superman and Lois were always like 4 seasons. But this one, I think, really, because unlike the other ones being with Superboy that he had a rite of passage, Superboy and Lois and Clark were standalone episodes. They really were just standalone things that you'd watch from week to week. This is an ongoing thing. This is a Luthor season. No Smallville emotional high school drama. This is a different Lex, a different Clark. I don't know what Tom Welling's Superman would be like against him. You probably wouldn't be able to threaten him so easily, but you know. So yeah, I mean, it's so great. So basically, in the first episode of this season, this final season, you got Sam Lane kidnapped. Now Sam Lane's a goon. I always hate the get struck in the back of the head kind of thing. Okay, that only works in nightclubs when you can't hear who's coming towards you. Okay, or if you're literally deaf. Okay, like in the movie Hold Your Breath. If the little girl got hit in the back of the head by somebody, but she couldn't hear the one that's deaf, yeah, that would make sense because she can't hear anybody coming towards her. But every character gets hit in the back of the head. Sam Lane is an idiot, and he's a goon, and he's supposed to be a 4-star general, right? He's supposed to be a big general, and he gets himself into all kinds of trouble that's unbecoming of a general. Like, he would have more resources than that. You know, like try to kidnap Colin Powell. I mean, that's the last guy I remember. Colin Powell would have done something much smarter than he wouldn't have just like gotten overtaken like that. There's no way. So like you had what is it? The Rebecca Stab character, Gretchen disappeared along with Otis. Are they dead? Well, they disappeared. They're not dead. They're not alive. They're just disappeared. You got Mercy, I guess, the new Mercy with Lex Luthor's assistant. So this is like, how many live action Lex Luthors have we had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 7th or 8th Luthor, right? After Lyle Talbot and Gene Hackman and Sherman Howard and the other actor who played in the Superboy show, and John Shee. And then you got, Michael Rosenbaum and Kevin Spacey. Yeah, I much prefer, also, I think he's the 9th, this is the 9th Luthor after, not Michael Cera, what's his name? Jesse Eisenberg, there's all kinds. This guy would have worked well in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Every time Lex walks in, he's like a WWE. He's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's just ready to start shit. So you got this. You got John Kent, who, and by the way, they're unlike the previous 3 seasons. They're very much downplaying a lot of the Smallville type drama. Not once does Sarah talk to Jordan. Okay, Indy Navarrete. She does not talk to Jordan. So she's there to kind of be the emotional support, but she does not see Jordan. They don't see each other. There's no drama like that. I'm sure they'd have to, because the preview for the 3rd episode shows John Henry Irons and his daughter. So I'm hoping they're out of the emo, pitiful, mess that they're always in the last seasons. Because when John and Natasha team up, Uncle John and Natasha, they really make a great team. They make a formidable team, and they're really good. I mean, I still have that issue where Superman Man of Steel 100, where John Henry Irons and Natasha create the Fortress of Solitude, which suspiciously looks like this. This is like the Fortress of Solitude from the 2000s. you have to remember the combination, put the puzzle together, and it unlocks the Fortress of Solitude. That was a great. That's how I knew it wasn't Luthor in season 1. That it was really John Henry Irons. I knew the whole fucking time. It was like that was weird, but you have to know your Superman lore. You got to know it. I knew it. I'm from the 90s, 80s, and 90s. I remember it. So you got Lana Lang. You got Lana Lang who's trying to. So Lex Luthor's he's living in an apartment that's overlooking the Daily Planet, or not Daily Planet, the Smallville Gazette, and he's looking over Lois's shoulder in a stalker, creepy way, but in a legitimate way because he owns the building, so he can legally stalk her from his own building that he owns, even though Lana Lang idiotically sold it to him. A lot of things are happening here. So between Lois being on the edge, Superman Clark being dead, Doomsday, the Doomsday monster, brought back the heart to put in a container. And his assistant did mention Brainiac, but I don't know if it was Brainiac as an adjective or the proper villain. It probably would make sense to bring in Brainiac at some point. Would it be like the Krypton Brainiac from Sci-Fi Network? I don't know. We have two villains right now. We have Doomsday and we have Lex Luthor. It might make sense to bring in Brainiac, or maybe not. Yeah. So and then you got Jordan trying to be Superboy with a stupid mask that Lex can see right through. He can't tell. Eventually, he figured out Clark Kent and Superman were one of the same, but. Because I guess he didn't see much of Clark Kent in this universe. In this continuity, he saw very, very little of Clark Kent. So it makes sense for him to think that they're two separate people up until you get to the second episode. Now, Lois goes and threatens Lex to stay away from her boys. There's all kinds of... This is what we're looking at, besides the shock and awe of Superman being dead in the first episode, is that for these two episodes, it's a dangerous game of chess. Now, Sam Lane is fine. I was hoping that Jordan would go in and save General Lane from being killed, but he finds a way to knock out Gretchen, or whatever her name is, but still get hit in the back of the head and buried alive. And then at some point, of course, Jordan saves him. So he's a fucking idiot. So there's no Christy Beppo. John Henry and Natasha show up for episode 3. We go over, it was horrific. His heart was ripped out. They don't show very much of it because either it would be very unbecoming. Warner Brothers executives would be like, yeah, probably not. Yeah, it's like, what's his name? Maybe it was left to James Gunn's decision, Like, okay, James, like the CEO just told James Gunn, yeah, you figure it out. I don't think the answer is yes. I don't think we should show Superman without his heart in there. So Jordan takes Superman without a heart to the Fortress of Solitude to put him on freeze, to put him in some sort of Kryptonian cryogenic thing. His mother's watching over him. I guess this is the continuity of Superman 2. Superman 2, 3, and 4, I guess. I don't know. Where in Superman 2, the regular cut, Superman talked to his mother. In the Donner cut, it was his father. So there's different solutions. Now, of course, Luthor smashes the heart. Now, you could have a scenario where Zor-El, or whatever the guy's name was, the villain from the first season, could give his heart. I remember in Injustice 2 prequel, Zod was killed by Batman, so his heart was given to Superboy. This could happen. Or maybe one of the two sons dies for Superman to live. There's no Supergirl. Obviously, this is a separate universe now. Sucks, poor Supergirl, right? I don't know if there's going to be any surprises. People say that maybe the Flash is going to come back or whatever. I don't know what's happening. I don't expect anything. I just kind of go in there not knowing whatever's going on. I'm going to go in there blind. So I'm really looking forward to the next. So let me go ahead and rate these. So for season 1, I shall give it an A because of Superman being dead. A lot of things that Luthor is doing in the first episode. Because it is the first episode. We see a lot of the fight. They fight. And Doomsday brings back the heart. So A for this one. And then then for episode 2, a B because it's more of the same conflicts that are going on. But in that one, I did like that Jordan was taken out by kryptonite guns by Luthor's hitmen with kryptonite rifles, taking him out. And Jordan is an idiot, but Lex put him in his place, which I knew was coming. Lex had to put Jordan in his place because Jordan had no business taking on Lex all by himself. Now, in this universe, there's no other superhero, so what can they do? It's just him and Superman. That's kind of sad. It's really like Lex has all this power. Now, for Lex, his one Achilles is his daughter, who doesn't want to see him anymore. Now, his daughter did talk to Sam Lane, in which Sam Lane becomes a pawn and everything. I'm getting tired of Sam. Just kill the guy. Just kill him. He's not doing anything important. So he's looking for his daughter. His daughter is now what? If she was 4, she's in her 30s, right? So he's looking for her. He's emotional. His lover secretary is warning him to not get too emotional. He's making all these moves, and he's being cool about it. So let's see what happens next week. This is a very big soft reboot and one hell of a soft reboot. Looking forward to more of this. We're saying goodbye to the Arrowverse and the Smallville legacies in a way. Everything's going to go to Max. I could care less. I'm pretty much done with most of these superhero shows anyway.